So imagine this, you're in an accident and you need medical treatment, and the hospital bills are 10 times greater than the amount of insurance available. What do? Well, that's exactly what happened to Phyllis Myers Smith. So she turned to Valley attorney Joseph Brown for help. I want to welcome you both to Senior and Living. And Joe, good to see you again. And Phyllis, your story is amazing. So you were coming home from work one day.
Right.
You take the bus. You got off the bus. What happened?
I was waiting for the stoplight, and once it changed for me to cross, I got in the crosswalk, crossed the street, and in the middle of the street, I was hit by a car. Oh. And so when I woke up, I was in an ambulance, and
Phyllis, that's terrible. So the extent of your injuries, what happened?
Luckily, the only thing that I had done was a fractured knee, and so I had surgery on my knee.
Okay.
That's,
we were saying how, I mean, it could have been so much worse, but yeah, that's a horrible situation to go through. So, Joe, you ended up getting a call from her son.
Correct.
And asking for help. So what happened?
Well, I went and met Phyllis. She had actually been discharged from the hospital at that point. She makes it sound a lot easier than it really was. She was in the hospital for well over a week.
Wow.
Missed Christmas with her family as well. So I went and met with her at her house. She decided to retain me. I ascertained fairly quickly there was not enough insurance. So I was able to negotiate with the hospital, with her health insurance, and try to get a settlement for her to encompass everything. So this accident wasn't her fault and ended up putting her in bankruptcy or leaving her owing money or anything like that.
Oh my gosh. So the driver of the vehicle, clearly at fault. Is this a typical scenario, Joe, where his insurance wasn't enough to help Phyllis's medical bills?
Exactly. Unfortunately, in Arizona, the minimum limits are $15,000. I know we're trying to get that changed to $25,000. But yeah, $15,000 is what he maintained, if I remember correctly. And fortunately, Phyllis's bills were probably well over $200,000.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So,
wow, because you had to have surgery and then rehabilitation on top of that. And it forced you, I'm sure, to be out of work for a certain period of time.
I was out of work for a couple of months.
See, Joe, that's just like, it's cyclic. You know, one thing, you know, it's a tumbling effect. One thing leads to another. With people out there who find themselves in that situation, and Phyllis was after the fact, had been, you know, she'd already been in the hospital and through that. You can still go in and help people in these types of situations?
As long as they haven't settled the case, yeah, I could definitely go in, help. You know, the insurance hadn't told her what the limits were. I was able to then come in, advise, you know, where we are, negotiate with the hospital, negotiate with their health insurance. I think Phyllis worked for a local department store, and we had to pay her health insurance back, so we had to negotiate with them as well. So there was a lot of players involved, and Phyllis was, you know, I was able to just take it off her plate, let her focus on getting better and getting back on her feet, and then I dealt with everything else and got the bills reduced and got her a settlement.
So you came up with your bills being reduced and the settlement. You also were able to get a little extra money out of that. What did you do with that extra money, Phyllis?
I bought a car so I wouldn't have to be a pedestrian crossing the street.
Good for you, Phyllis.
She fixed that situation permanently. Yes.
Good for you. Good for you. Well, great story, Phyllis, and I'm glad you're doing so much better and you're not out there walking the streets anymore. It's a jungle out there. Joe, thank you. For that is really good information, and I want to give you some information. The Accident Law Group, they have 2 locations for you to choose from. 3923 South McClintock Drive, that's Suite 400, that's in Tempe. Second location is 15650 North Black Canyon Highway, Suite 155B. That's in Phoenix. One number to call for that appointment, 602-262-4ALG. You can also visit his website for more information, accidentlawgroup.com.